But, without that red heifer, we're never going to see the Messiah. Without that temple, we're never going to see the Messiah. Without the Antichrist coming at some point and being identified, we're never going to see the Messiah. So we need to stop being afraid of seeing the land taken for God's glory and the temple being established for God's glory and the Antichrist coming to be identified and thrown down, and then foresee the Messiah arrive in a moment coming for salvation for all of God's people. This is what I see. He's bringing us together for that moment. And for whatever reason, God wanted to use, and this is what we all as believers in the God of Abraham wants: more loving, softer, more compassionate hearts. And that's what is happening to the Jewish people and Christians as we grow in our belief in this God of Abraham. But there is another God that is against him, that is his foe throughout time. From the beginning to the end, there has been a war of good and evil. And this one's getting harder and worse. And the fathers of faith are just following what the law says and what God said to do. And so we should respect that is what their part is. They brought us the word. They brought us the Bible. They're over there dying to hold on to the land, which is the covenant of God, which is to his glory, that the land becomes under the control of God's people, which includes us. And now is the time for us to support that and be part of that. And so when I took the red heifers to Israel, I didn't do it for me. John, I did that for you. And I did that for all your listeners. I did it for everybody in Japan that's a believer, everybody in Australia. We, Israel, delivered red heifers to our fathers in faith so they could do this ceremony. And yes, evil saw it and said, we have to stop this, because if, for instance, someday on the Temple Mountain, the place where God says, I'm going to be honored here on this Temple Mountain, heaven forbid, they don't want anyone to be able to pray there but themselves. Today, that is the epicenter of you must not pray there. If you're a Christian, you can pray at the Western Wall because Judah has control of the Western Wall. But if you go to the Temple Mountain, they will tell you it's against the law for you as a Christian to pray on God's appointed holy mountain. If you're Jew and you go up there, it's against the law for you to pray on God's holy mountain. And they know that what will happen is if we all are able to come and pray together for peace, for the peace of Jerusalem, if we're able to open up prayer on that Temple Mountain for everybody, if we build a house of prayer for all the nations on top of that mountain, God will see it and his glory will come and we will be lifted towards the God of Abraham and away from the evil. They don't want that. Amen. They are holding on to that with every fingernail they have and death in their eyes, trying to keep that Temple Mountain. And now's the time, I believe, and we're going to hope that this red heifer ceremony comes soon. And when it does, the next steps will be to open up prayer to every single person in the world to pray on God's holy mountain. And after that, it could go 10 years before a temple's built. It could go 50 years before a temple's built. But we will all come to a spiritual place where we can connect Israel and Judah, the fathers of faith, and the Christians worldwide. And I just want to point you to one verse. Malachi 4 says, if the fathers and the children don't learn to love each other, there's a curse on the land. The land is Israel. The fathers are the Jews, and the children are the Christians that are grafted in worldwide. And we must learn to love each other, and God will show up and give us eternal life through the Messiah. This is our hope, and this is what we need to be struggling towards.